pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Gracious Lord, we come before you today and just ask that you be with us and guide and direct us in the affairs of the county, that the things that we do would be not only pleasing to you, but good and prosperous for the people in this community. We ask you to be with all of our employees especially, and keep them safe and strong in the work that they do on our county's roads and city streets. We just ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Brad.
All right, we'll call our meeting to order and entertain a motion for the claims and minutes.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay, Public Defender Board appointment.
Judge Rita moving this request to replace Alan Aldifer with Paul Stolte.
Okay,
Finish his term.
okay,
Make a motion to approve the
Second.
request.
okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. And the Board of Trustees, Tippecanoe Chapman Sewer District appointments. Bob Weaver and Ed Ormsby. Everybody okay with them?
Yeah, awesome. I think they're good candidates, and I appreciate their wanting to be involved.
Is that a motion?
That's a motion.
That's a motion.
I'll second that.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Okay, on to the grants. Sheriff's Department. Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Chris.
How you doing, Chris?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Good.
Here to present a grant proposal that the Kosciuszko County Sheriff's Department has. We'd like to apply for a Indiana Department of Homeland Security grant. It is for $31,920. It is for body-worn cameras. It would be to help outfit the jail
Okay.
and replace worn and defective units that we already have at this time. It should replace about 45 of those units.
Wow.
So
45, that's a
what
big
we're
number.
proposing to apply for through the Homeland Security Department.
I make motion we accept his request.
Second that.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Did we make that too easy on you?
You did.
We'll try harder next time.
Take a deep breath. You
Thanks,
make
Chris.
it easy on us, Chris.
All right, do the ARPA grants.
Comes General
Morning.
Ben. Good morning, Ben.
Morning.
I'm Ben Sanders. I'm the Town Marshal for the Claypool Police Department. I'm here today asking for approval of $32,991.54 for the new radios for the Claypool Police Department to be put on the new public safety system. I'm asking for 2 mobiles and 6 portables to replace what I have now. My current Motorola radios are now obsolete and they can't be updated or programmed the way they need to be. So I'm just hoping that I can get the approval from you guys to get this going, to get up and running on the new system.
Very good.
So just a little bit about really all these ARPA grants. These have already been in front of the ARPA committee and vented and brought forth. And then also last council meeting, last Thursday night, these were also approved by the council for approval to move forward. So we're kind of the last step in the process as we walk through this. And pretty much the next 4, the town of Claypool, town of Syracuse, town of Milford, and then the Kosciuszko County Sheriff's Department are all, as this system has come online, there's been some things that we found, whether that's, the not being able to programming or some radios that we thought would work because of location, as far as in the jail and some other things that we're finding that to really bring this system up to 100%, these additional radio programming or radios are needed. So we do have the ARPA committee, because we've bought radios for everybody else thus far. Some of these departments had not received radios, or because they'd bought some earlier and they're needing them reprogrammed, or they're needing additional radios that they thought would work, finding out at the end the encryption's wrong and different things like that. So these first 4 all have to do with pretty much our public safety communication system and just trying to finish what we started from a perspective of finalizing the radios that are out there. Along with that, you'll see a note in the back, but, pretty much we are putting a deadline the next ARPA committee meeting's the last time that anybody can request any money for these radios, so we can kind of draw the line there. From here forward, the system's up and running. Everybody ought to know whether or not they need something or not. So this isn't something we're going to continue to see for months and years to come.
Okay, I guess my question is, I know they're here and I appreciate their being here. Can we do these all in one time or do we have to do them individually?
That would be, it's up to us, looks like, according to Rhonda.
Doesn't matter? Okay. Hate to circumvent your moment in the sun, but it's up to you, whatever you want to do. I know Milford loved to step up here and say something. That's,
Jim, Derek, any of you want to get up and say anything, or you want to just approve it for you?
Well, I would just appreciate you approving Mr. Sanders' said it all, and the gentleman up there basically talked about the crux of the idea, the problem we're having. So,
okay, I would make a motion then that we accept the ARCA committee's recommendation for town of Claypool, Syracuse, Milford, and Kosciuszko County Sheriff's Department with Chris McCann, that we accept their recommendation.
Okay,
And I'd second that.
okay. Any other discussion?
None.
All's in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Okay.
Thanks for leading
You
off.
good with that, Jim?
Ben took the
Thanks for
heat
being
for
here,
you.
guys. Renee?
It's all good.
Good morning.
Good
Morning.
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 I'm Renee Salyer with the Beaman Home Executive Director. I'm here today to ask for $37,066.68 for 3 sets of washers and dryers for the shelter, 2 new windows for the shelter, shelter painting inside, and then a bug oven heater. These are all items that are experiencing a lot of wear and tear in the shelter, and we house about 250 clients per year, so our washers and dryers go through a lot, and they're about close to their lifespan. The windows in the building, there were 2 windows left that when the building was remodeled, they weren't changed, and they're old wood windows, single pane, very drafty. And then the shelter painting is just, again, wear and tear on the building. It was built in 2016, but again, with 250 people coming through, it's really starting to show some wear. And then our bug oven heater, we really need something that's more energy efficient, that can run at a shorter period of time, that will kill the bugs faster. So any client who comes in, we run all their clothing through a bug oven.
Very
And I
good.
know she did come in front of the ARPA committee. She did have additional requests for Mary Ann's place, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
That was tabled, but the ARPA committee really felt as though, this is something that's important that does serve our whole county. And these were some upgrades that are needed to be able to keep that operation functional and in good repair. So the ARPA committee did give this an unanimous recommendation to approve.
Okay.
With that, I'd make a motion to approve this request.
Second.
Okay, all's in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Renee.
Thank you.
Thank you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
All right, Combined Community Services.
Morning.
Morning.
I'm Tim Frame. I'm the Director of Emergency Assistance at Combined Community Services. I'm filling in for Randy Polston. He had a procedure this morning, so I'm here on his behalf with Combined Community Services. We are just requesting additional funding from a program that were approved for last fall. We were able to purchase a new transit van for the agency to do our local pickups and deliveries and things like that through Combined Community Services. Fortunately, we saw some additional costs with that. So we're just asking for that remaining balance to help cover the cost of the van that was purchased. There's a warranty that we purchased with that as well, and then there's additional funds for a wrap so we can put our logo and things like that on our new van. Yeah.
This request also came from the ARPA committee. They did have some additional requests that we did table, but this is something we're kind of finished what we started there again. The van that they were looking for to be able to pick food up and distribute food. You were talking a little bit about just the numbers of sheer people that you're seeing roll through your store right now is just phenomenal from a perspective of the need is great. Being able to give them the tools that they need to be able to perform the services that our community does need. So This was a recommendation to pretty much finish the van ended up costing a little bit more. I think we're all, if anybody's bought a vehicle lately, what you think you're gonna pay for one versus what you end up having to, just end up being a little bit more, and then some warranty, and then also a wrap to be able to kind of finalize that. And that was what this additional $18,000 was for, to kind of finish what we'd already given some money to approve for, so.
Okay, their original request was for like air conditioners.
Yes,
That
so-
was not part of this, or it is?
No, the first request was a van and the air conditioners.
Right.
And when they went to buy the van ended up being a little more money than what they thought that they
Okay.
were gonna have to pay.
So the air conditioners got put
No,
aside?
No, those got done, are in the process of being done, so
Okay.
both projects
So
are
they're an
still gonna
integral
get
part
done.
of this whole process?
Yes.
Okay. I make a motion, we accept his request.
I second that.
All's in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank
There
you
you
so
go.
much. To
Randy's
answer your
doing
question, the equipment for the new units did come in this week.
Awesome, great.
So we'll be
Very
receiving
good.
that soon, so thank you so much.
Uh-huh.
Thanks. Right. Okay, Adam Turner. Morning, Adam.
Really here on behalf of the redevelopment commission. The redevelopment commission has been in the process of creating a couple residential TIFs in the county. The first one, which was not necessarily on table today, is in Etna Green, where the Etna Green Town Council reached out to the redevelopment commission, not having their own redevelopment commission, and initiated a process to establish a small residential TIF in the town of Etna Green. That has gone through that process alongside with the one that's before you today with regard to the South Shore Golf course, new development that's going in there. With me is Terry Sweeney and Alan Teo with KEDCO. Any questions you have with regard to the development or anything like that, I'm sure they'd be happy to answer. The resolution before you is just one step in the process. Redevelopment Commission has started this back the latter part of last year with determination of the 1% test. It's a requirement for any residential TIF. And going through that process, the kind of pumped the brakes a little bit instead of jamming it all in 2022. Said, okay, let's go over into first quarter of 2023, just because there's a number of steps in the process, which I'm happy to outline if you have any questions. But the declaratory resolution has been passed after a public hearing in front of the Redevelopment Commission at the beginning of January this year. Then it goes on from there to the Plan Commission. Plan Commission has reviewed the area outlined in the resolution in front of you and has given their approval. And then the next step in the process is for the county executive or you guys to review the Plan Commission's approval and the plan and give your approval moving forward. The next step will then be a tax impact study, which will be completed by Baker Tilly. That will go out and determine the tax impact on all the overlapping tax districts for this residential TIF project. That will go out to all the overlapping taxing districts and come back before the Redevelopment Commission for another public hearing and a confirmatory resolution at that point if they decide to pass and move this forward. So that's kind of the outline of the process. Again, establishing a residential TIF, which I know is new. Kosciuszko County has not done this before. Obviously, it's done many conventional TIFs, but this is a residential one, and those have just become a thing in the last 6-7 years. Thereabouts. Warsaw's done a few. Winona Lake has done one, and I was involved with that one over there as their counsel. And so now we're looking at an initiative of putting these in place to help incentivize developers to come into a given area and say, hey, we want to revitalize this area and put in some housing, which we have seen in many studies in this county that we need and we want to be a part of. So, any questions?
Maybe this be more towards Alan and Terry. As far as once this study's done,
Come up to the mic, guys.
and then that will help to identify whether or not there's enough revenue that's going to be generated by this area to justify moving forward with it. I know it's it's kind of which comes first, the chicken or the egg, so to speak. So just making sure that I understand the process and know that, you know, not having a bunch of financial information in front of us, it's tough to see how good it is for that really area. But I know a lot of it depends on what development happens and who the developer is that comes in there. And you're not going to know that till you get a little further down the road,
So creating the TIF area helps at least make that tool available.
Right.
But to your point, I mean, until we know, what kind of development is contemplated, how much, assessed value that will generate, and then what kind of needs there are in terms of infrastructure costs, we don't know yet how to balance those together, how much that TIF area could support in the end to help encourage development that wouldn't happen otherwise. And, with housing specifically to help create a housing that meets the need for market rate housing that we wouldn't see otherwise.
Yep.
So.
TIF's a great tool.
I guess my question is, do you have a map of the delineation of that TIF district for Etna Green? Where's that at?
The Etna Green one?
Yeah.
The Etna Green one is just in the south portion of Etna Green. I think there's a little town park right there.
Yeah,
and it
Heritage
kinda
Park
wraps
right there.
around that.
Okay.
So that one, let me back up. Well, that one's not coming before you. That actually went to their town council as their
Okay.
executive body rather than the county.
Right.
I just wanted to highlight that because these two have been running like side by side together. And this is the one point in the process where they diverge, and then they'll come back together with the redevelopment commission. And again, that's just because Etna Green hasn't established their own redevelopment commission. So the
Right.
county's serving in that role. That's the Etna Green one. And
Okay,
they
just,
seem real positive.
so
on
it's not the
development.
one, it's not the one with Heritage Park, it's,
It's,
because Heritage Park has already done theirs, correct? The
Yeah,
town
the-
has already done theirs.
yeah, the park's already there at the
Right.
green, and it's the property to the west and to the south of Heritage
Kinda
Park
wraps around it.
that,
Okay.
they're looking to develop. What is it, a
Okay.
total of 25 acres, I think?
Okay, very good. That was my question, exactly, because I know where it should go, and I think this is the proper place for it to go, so, okay, thank you.
Ed, do you have any thoughts on where? Okay. All right, we'll entertain a motion then.
So moved.
Second that?
You're quick today, Bob. All right, all's in favor?
We've already
Aye.
talked it to death,
Aye.
might as well work on it.
Thanks,
man.
gentlemen.
All right,
You're welcome.
thanks, Adam. Okay, you guys might as well stay up here.
No brainer in my book. I'm just saying.
Morning, Alan.
Good morning.
Morning.
Am I next?
More
You're
Allen,
next.
huh?
Actually, you need to go sit down and you can come back up. I'm just kidding. Thank you.
Thanks, Alan.
Almost famous KEDCO quarterly update quad chart. It's a mouthful.
Almost.
Hey, almost. Appreciate the chance to be with you today. Do just want to take a few minutes to share a few highlights of what we're working on as we quickly move into the new year. So I'm going to go from top left clockwise around. We, of course, have spent the last 3 to 4 years rebuilding the organization, the team, the focus, navigating the pandemic, et cetera. So we are ready. We're working with each of our team members, building our work plans. But the goal there, why I mentioned this, is really to help build a better pipeline to be able to share with you in future meetings. How are we moving through our pipeline from, think of it as a sales pipeline, number of interactions to projects to wins, and what do those wins create for us and for you all as our investors. So that's a teaser toward next month or next quarter that we will have the work plans and a better pipeline to really, again, illustrate what we're doing and how it's translating in terms of wins. The pipeline, what I can share at least is a few highlights. Appreciate the county's support of our accelerator program. We're launching the second go at that accelerator program. We have a launch event coming up tomorrow. We have about 75 people, I think more than that now, signed up to attend the launch event. So we're excited about the momentum that's building. On housing, we did a quick tally, about 30 different housing developments we're supporting, anywhere from Etna Green up to Syracuse, over to Milford. I mean, really throughout the county at different levels. And so, I mean, as many as I think 11 of those could actually get underway this year at different levels. And then, of course, it all fits together. We have a pipeline of companies that are either expanding here, looking to start here, grow here. Tracking about 30 of those of companies at different levels, anywhere from, kind of small startups to larger companies looking to grow here. And so, they're looking for the housing, they're looking for how we're supporting entrepreneurs, how we're supporting talent. And so those things all fit together. Last 90 days, we have added our operations manager, Don Wilkinson. Timing was none too soon to be able to add an operations person to help us oversee the administrative side of things, and including our office relocation. We are getting closer toward relocating to our new KEDCO World Headquarters. We are working diligently on the remote worker recruitment effort that the county has supported. We have a lot of that has been on developing video content, web content to share with people as they're considering whether to look at coming here. And again, we'll have that underway this year. And then looking forward, really the focus, we just talked about residential TIF areas. The other thing I'll mention is the focus going forward is working with our largest employers, our leading employers, really looking to understand their needs so we can partner with the county, with the state, our other economic development partners, and really figure out how do we help companies move more investment here. If they've got a plan of things they're thinking about to bring here already, great. If there's things they could maybe could take somewhere else so we can help them to put here instead. But want to make sure we're reaching out and asking the question, how do we get companies to bring more investment here? Again, helps us turn that flywheel and helps us continue to grow the local economy. So that's a focus. We certainly have with Secretary of Commerce Brad Chambers. He was with us at the KEDCO annual meeting in October. He's coming back in a few weeks for the chamber dinner. I mean, the state wants to know how they can support us, and having that kind of information about companies that want to grow here and how they can step in, that helps us get them involved. So that's a very brief highlight, but I just give a couple snapshots as far as what we're working on, and appreciate the team, Terry and others who are helping us to really expand what we can do and how quickly we can get through very complex projects and manage a much bigger pipeline than the past.
Very good.
Thank you.
Gentlemen?
Appreciate all your efforts
Questions?
on
Of
that,
course.
Alan. I know.
We'll keep at it.
Exciting to see some of these initiatives start to take off and hopefully really make a difference in our community. So appreciate your efforts.
We're getting there. All right, thank you.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
good to see you. Sheriff? Morning.
Morning.
Jim?
Got bookkeeper Cheryl McGetrick here with me today. We're here to present the July through December 2022 commissary report from the Sheriff's Department. Cheryl will be better served to probably answer any specific questions if you have any this morning.
I know I thumbed through it and looked at it. A lot of information there, a lot of detailed information. I know some of those things were not your administration, so I mean, but I thought it was very thorough and a lot of good information there to glean, so.
Yeah, it's amazing some of the things, you start looking at those numbers and it just blows your mind that this county is doing so much. And look forward to doing as much or more in the future, so.
I want to publicly thank Cheryl too for the hard work she puts into it. It's very well
good.
organized, and although it's a lot of information, it was easier to read because she did such a fine job on putting it
Yeah.
together, so thank you.
I'd make a motion to approve the commissioner or commissary report.
I'll second it.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Keep up the good work.
All right, any office holders, department heads?
Just wanted to personally and to publicly announce my deputy director, Kip Shooter. This is no big surprise because our media partners have already been hard at work to put the word out there already. But, I just thought ought to officially hand him off to you guys as far as this is the deputy director for emergency management.
Cool. Thank you, Ed. Nice, welcome aboard, Kip. Excited
make
to
a
see what
speech?
we can do together.
Just thank you for this opportunity to be able to serve our community again. Have some large shoes to fill. And
Metaphorically speaking.
yes,
okay.
yes,
All right.
metaphorically. But I think I'm up for the task, and I'm just thankful for this opportunity to be able to
Very
serve
good.
our community.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I am really looking forward to what he can do for this department. I think you're going to see some improvements. And that's going to be a great thing for the county.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ed. Thanks for making a smooth transition, Ed. All right, anybody else? All right, Ed.
First thing that we have is a proposed resolution for approving the sheriff's salary contract for 2023. The amount of that salary is $115,515. I have a resolution for consideration by the commissioners, which I'll read now. Resolution approving sheriff's salary contract 2023, whereas one, the sheriff's salary contract is attached here. Two, Board of Commissioners is the executive body of county government. 3, the board believes it is in the best interest of the county and its citizens to enter into the agreement for the reasons stated in the recitals of the agreement, which are incorporated herein by reference. 4, Indiana Code 36-2-13-2.5C requires that the agreement be approved by resolution of both the executive and the fiscal body of the county. 5, the agreement was approved by resolution of the Kosciuszko County Council on January 12, 2023. Now therefore, the following is hereby resolved by the board. 1, the agreement is hereby approved by the board. 2, the president of the board, Bradford Jackson, is hereby authorized to execute the agreement on behalf of the board. That resolution is submitted for consideration.
Any questions of Ed?
No, I mean, I'd make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Really appreciate Jim's willingness to keep his word and what he campaigned on. So from a dollars perspective, I think that we all looked at the number and thought that it should be more than this for what the responsibilities and duties are. But appreciate his willingness to want to do that, so.
I would echo that too, Jim.
I think it's admirable that that we have that kind of a conversation up front, early on during the whole process of the political process, and to look at the work he's going to be doing and the manpower and the facilities he has to take care of. I'm not sure anybody could do it for what he's willing to do it for. But the big thing in my mind is he's saving the county $40,000 a year by working with the council and the commissioners. And I certainly applaud that as a commissioner and the taxpayers, so, thank you.
So, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Okay, Marcia.
I have one more thing,
Oh,
Brad.
sorry.
Second and last thing is an update on the $26 billion multi-state opioid settlement with Janssen Pharmaceuticals, Amerisource, Spurgeon, Cardinal Health, and McKesson. The county has received its first payment of those proceeds. $507 million was scheduled to be received by the state of Indiana. Half of that goes to local governments. And the first payment has now been received. That total is $266,561.25. A portion of that is restricted and another portion is unrestricted. $187,050.69 is restricted to opioid abatement activities. And there are a number of activities specified in the settlement documents for which those proceeds can be used. And then the second portion is $79,510.56, and that is unrestricted. And the county can use this amount however it chooses. We expect that we will get further payments later this year, and I'll provide updated reports as we do. That's it.
Very good.
There's no motion.
I say, as no
No.
official action.
Nope, just an
FYI.
update and a report.
Okay, thank you. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, Marcia.
Yes, excuse me. I have quotes here for Justice Building. These are to procure a architect firm to help us with the replacement of carpeting, cove base, and paint and wallpaper in the Justice Building. I reached out to 3 firms and I heard back from 2. Those would be Design Collaborative and Moak Park. Design Collaborative came back with a quote of $15,000, and Moak Park came back with a quote of $78,840. Due to the broad range there, I ask that these be tabled and we bring them, have time to review, Carrie and myself, and come back with a recommendation at the January 31st Commissioners meeting.
All right. Anything else?
Don't vote on those.
What's that?
Okay.
Do you need approval on the sewer gas thing? Do you need approval on the sewer?
Yeah.
It's coming.
It's coming. So we have an urgent need in the Justice Building for some repair work in the riser room. This has to do with the lift station lid repair. The quote is from Core Mechanical for $8,368. This involves the labor and materials to fabricate and install the new lid section for the lift station and to replace the bent and existing hinge lid section. So there will be some patching and sealing of holes in the lift station portions that are not being replaced in this quote.
Okay. I make a motion that we accept her request for Core Mechanical to do this work for $8,000.
Second that.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Thank you, that's all I have.
okay, thank you. Rhonda?
I just wanted to remind everybody that the applications for the radios need to be in to the auditor's office by Monday, 2/27. That will be the last time we'll be able to do radio applications.
Okay.
And that information is being sent out to the fire chiefs and the Outer Line Police Department, so they're all aware of that deadline.
All right,
Nobody can say they didn't know.
Correct.
thank you.
Thank you, Rhonda. Steve? Good morning.
Good morning. I have a few things to bring before you today. The one was permission to buy a Bandit brush chipper. We normally have 3 on hand. We had one that we have to replace that has been totaled. And we got a quote, and it's the model 250 XP disc style brush Bandit, and it's from Bobcat of Indianapolis. They're the closest dealer for Bandit, and that is for $67,502.80. We did recover $9,000 already and some change from the insurance company. I would like permission, and this is a Sourcewell contract, which is Sourcewell is a entity that does the bidding for all municipalities, and we can use that.
Make a motion to accept his request.
Second that.
Okay. And then you got this in your budget, so we're good?
Yes.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The next thing is I'd like to ask for permission to advertise for Community Crossing CCMG 22-2 for Old Road 30 and Pierceton Road on January 25th and February 1st. And then those bids would be opened at 9:15 on February 14th with your permission.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The next thing that I have is that I have a signing of a contract for Bridge 18, which is wetland mitigation and maintenance and reporting. And it was Cardinal New. They had sold to Santec Consulting and Services. And this is just an agreement saying that we'll just have the same contract. It'll just be with now Santec.
Make a motion to approve the switching of the contractor's name.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor, say
Aye.
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 Okay.
Okay, one more thing. Then we go through a lot of training at the county highway, which we maintain, not only for brush chipping or for paint striping, traffic control. We also go through training for a chip seal program. They're offering one in Oregon, Illinois at Nair for our maintenance staff to go there and be trained again. They did this about 5 years ago. This is just kind of a reclassification or kind of just a touch up on what they do, and I'd like permission to travel out of state to Oregon, Illinois for training.
I make a motion to accept your request.
Second that.
Anything we can do to keep us safe and keep us up to date on the latest, I think we need to do that, so.
I really appreciate that.
Better
Thank
to be
you.
forward-looking and get it done than look back and wished we had, so.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right.
That's all I have today. Thank
Hey,
you very
Steve,
much.
before you get down for the mic, that community crossing, I know, have you put a budget together? Because that's still a dollar for dollar match with NDOT, correct?
Yeah, that's a 50% match. They'll match up to $1 million. The estimate that we had put in for just is a little over. It was about $2.15 million to do Pearson Road from the city limits of Pearson to the city limits of Winona. And then just adding on Old 30 from what we did last year from State Road 13 to 450 east. So, but still for the dollar, I mean, every year we've got $1 million the last 4 years, knock on wood. Then we'll try to continue that trend. It really does help out
Yeah.
our community.
The work needs to be done. It's good to have a partner help us with it, so.
And to do a bigger project like that, it'd be a lot to do that size of project if it wasn't for community crossings.
Okay.
Appreciate your efforts.
Thanks for everything.
Thank you.
Anyone else have anything come before the commissioners?
Hearing none.
If not, we'll plan on seeing you here in 2 weeks. Here's what we specified to be done. Got that.
Am I in your way? I'm gonna have to try harder.